Hey, welcome back to another vlog. I am Lucas, and I am now scared of concerts. Okay, this scare wasn't really that long ago, so I only really got scared of it after a concert I went like 2 weeks ago. But before I explain to you the reason I am now officially scared of concerts, let's go a bit back into the early ages of me in order to figure out exactly what is the problem. Okay, when I was smaller, I used to hate concerts already. I mean, it wasn't like, oh my gosh, I hate concerts, don't even try and get me in one of them. It was more of a, I don't really want to go, but I have to because my family. Yeah. So, I would go into a concert hall, I would watch the first couple of performances, classical music and Art on Ice, which is like an ice skating concert, and there was actually music playing. It was just ice skating and music playing, so kind of like a concert. But there was also that and piano and yeah, stuff. Music doesn't really interest me, so I ended up falling asleep halfway through, and at the end, I wake up. My parents they turn around and they say, "Did you enjoy it?" And I reply to them, "No, I fell asleep halfway through. You even not notice then? Were you too absorbed by the music to notice that your own son has fallen asleep to this music?" And I mean, it was late in the evening, so I would have fallen asleep anyway if I wasn't at the concert. But I fell asleep, and when I wake up, I don't remember the rest of the concert. I just wake up feeling perfectly fine, and then we go home. I always question myself, why do we even go to these with me? Why do I even go to these kinds of things if I'm just gonna fall asleep? Now, obviously, I don't understand parents, so I'm just gonna assume that they didn't know I always fell asleep during the concert. Okay, and this went on for about 10 years. So, for 10 years, I fell asleep during concerts. And this started changing when I went to a musical. So we went to London, because London is the best place to go for a musical, and we went to Broadway, which is the best place to go for a musical. We went there, and we went to see this musical, and for the first time ever in my life, I didn't fall asleep during a performance. This was amazing. I've never done that before. And, of course, my mom noticed that, and she asked me, "Do you like it?" And this time, I said, yes, because I kind of liked it. And this time, she knew that I haven't fallen asleep. Okay, so I suddenly like musicals. Does it mean I still like concerts? No, because concerts is just plain old boring music. And anyway, I would have hated the musical if it wasn't such a good one. I kept on repeating the same phrase over and over again to her once I described this play. This was an exception. I kept saying it to everyone. Hey, did you like this musical? Yes, but this was just an exception. I kept on repeating the word exception when I described this musical because I knew if I watched any other musical, I would be bored immediately and fall asleep as well. But yeah, that was an exception. It was an exceptionally good piece of music. Oh, alright. Now we can fast forward it a couple of years later. This time we are in a beautiful, beautiful country called Switzerland. And here we went to attend a live performance by Bada Bim Bada Boom, the Queens. Now the Queens is a very famous rock band who lost a couple of its members already, but are still going with a bunch of other singers, and now they're doing a tour with a American Idol runner-up, I believe. So they went to Zurich, which is a town in Switzerland, and they performed there. Now, my dad, being a very, very keen fan of Queen, decided to go there. And me, being a hater of concerts, didn't want to go there. My dad still forced me and kept on reminding me about the musical, and then we went there. Now, during that performance, I became bored again. Now, I did say at the beginning it was interesting, but over time, because this concert dragged on for 2 hours, and I have the world's worst attention span, I got bored very quickly. So the 3 words I used to describe this concert after the concert was over, obviously, because during the concert you can't hear each other and it's really, really loud because they like putting on speakers. And actually that's the first word I used. Noisy, boring, long. Those were the 3 words I used to describe this concert. And I would have used other words if my dad wasn't such a keen fan of Queen. So I kept it short, but I really hated the concert. I really hated all of the concert. And my dad thought I liked it because, yeah, I might have, but only at the beginning when it wasn't so long. So that's that. And now let's fast forward it to 2 weeks ago. Okay, now you probably heard of it. It's the Katy Perry Prismarite World Tour. And I've got nothing against Katy Perry. I like Katy Perry. My parents like Katy Perry. A lot of people like Katy Perry. That's why the entire room was filled with fans of Katy Perry during her concert, obviously. So we went there. Now, me already say that I hated the concert. I mean, I hated all concerts, not just Katy Perry. I hate all concerts already. So I already didn't want to go in the first place. My parents forced me, because it was my dad's birthday present, and my dad knew how much I hated concerts, but my mom didn't, so she still brought me along. Now, there's nothing wrong with bringing your child along to a concert. What kind of is wrong is leaving your family behind, like your other family who are visiting you for a week, and you just leave them in your own home to do whatever they want while you go and watch a really fancy big concert. That kind of is immoral, I guess. I don't know. So we went there and we entered the big concert hall and we sat down. Alright, so my parents and me sat down in our respective seats. But the problem was there was a railing and a window right in front of us. So my parents didn't really want to sit there because they couldn't exactly see the stage. So, okay, my parents just had to move. I mean, it's not like the entire studio is gonna be filled with people, and by studio I meant concert hall. I'm so sorry. It's not like the entire concert hall is gonna be filled up to the brink with people. There's definitely gonna be some room left. So my parents moved, and I was left alone because I didn't want it to move. I was lazy and I didn't really care about the windowsill because I knew I wasn't going to enjoy it anyway because it's a concert and I hate concerts. So I just stayed where I was. Now, apparently, the seat where my parents sat was taken by another couple which were late. So then the couple decided to sit where my parents would have sat. Nothing wrong there. I mean, there is just a bunch of couples just coming in and sitting on a seat. And of course, since I was at my original seat and my parents were beside me, they sat beside me. And I suddenly was sitting next to a young couple in a concert hall. Alright, then there was the pre-concert music thingamajig, where a random band comes in, plays some music in order to entice the audience. And again, nothing wrong with that. You know, you kind of want to not be bored waiting for your big fan slash crush slash whatever Katy Perry is to you to come on stage, so you listen to someone else play some music, and there's nothing wrong with that. and they were pretty good. It was, I think they're called the Dolls, and one was playing the violin, the other one was a DJ, and they would make music. Now, in the middle of that little concert thingy, there was a family coming in. Nothing wrong with them. They sat next to me. Nothing wrong with them. I'm assuming that they were American, since they were speaking American accent. They were English, and I didn't see them in my school, so I'm gonna guess they went to the American school. So I guess they were American. And the dad had, I believe, was restless leg syndrome, and I was kind of praying that he wouldn't pass it on to me, because I hate restless leg syndrome. I kind of prayed not to get it from him, because he was moving his legs so much I was almost tempted to do it myself. So they sat next to me, and even though they were a little bit noisy, still pretty normal. Then the music stopped. Okay, the music stopped, nothing wrong with that. So we will end up in a concert hall again, filled with people. And then the weird starts. And it started with the couple. Not just the couple, maybe more like the guy in the couple. So basically, what happened was he took a selfie. I mean, there's nothing wrong with a selfie. Everyone takes a selfie. You know, even I sometimes like taking selfies. Oh, hello, yeah. But seriously, nothing wrong with taking a selfie. It's not that creepy. But what was more creepy was the way he took the selfie. Now, my parents were sitting right behind them, so nothing wrong with that. And me, being a bored person and maybe slightly rudish person, decided to look into his phone because I was bored. So I looked into his phone and he was taking a selfie. But the thing is, the way he took his selfie, he had kind of half of his face inside the picture. The other half of the face was outside of the frame, and where the first half of the face was supposed to be was my dad. Like, he was inside the picture in full frame. He was inside the selfie. That was when I started getting creeped out by the guy, because who takes half of the face in someone else's full face in a selfie? That's like not normal. And I was starting to think, is he a stalker? And then I was getting scared. Why is he taking pictures of my dad? So he took a couple of pictures, click, 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 and then he deleted them all. So I thought, oh, okay, maybe he's not a stalker. Maybe he just likes taking pictures of half of his face. Maybe his right side is not good enough, so he just took his left side. But then he actually turns. He turns towards me. And that's when I think, oh shoot, what is he going to do? And he personally asks me, may I take a picture of you? Now at this point, I probably should freak out. I probably should have run away back to my parents and hide for the rest of the concert from that guy. But I was way too lazy to move, and maybe too creeped out to even get up. So I just smiled, said yes, and then he took a picture. Now the way he took a picture was the same as before. Horizontally, half is his face, and me smiling into his camera, because he asked me to. And that should have raised a lot of red flags for me. I could have asked him, are you stalking me? Or, I don't know, are you nuts? Do you know how to take a selfie? Do you know selfie means taking yourself, not someone else? And I ended up freaking out at that guy. I mean, I freaked out inside. I didn't really say things out loud. Then the guy took the picture, which was already scary enough, and put it online. So now, I've got my picture on someone else's profile, where other people can see it. And that is where I'm scared of ever going to concerts where people take my picture. And that thought was that thought unwrestled me for the rest of the concert. Like, I couldn't think of anything else. I was just thinking, should I steal the phone and delete that photo from his account? Should I delete his account? Should I find it online and maybe put lots of bad comments onto it? But then I can't because it's on a private social thingamajig. And I freaked out a lot. Like, I didn't know what else to do. Like, I knew he took a picture of my dad, I knew he took a picture of me, and I don't even understand why he even took that picture. I mean, if you want to show that you are in a Katy Perry concert, you don't have to take a picture of someone else. It could be anyone else. It doesn't prove a thing. But that guy might be freaked out, and I am freaked out, and I don't know what to do, what to expect from that picture. I don't know what that picture is for, and that freaked me out for like half the concert. So yeah, now I'm officially scared to go into a concert hall because I'm scared someone else will take my picture and put it on their account. And that's basically my entire story of what happened 2 weeks ago. So I would just like to say thank you for listening to me, this 10-ish minute vlog, and I hope you watch another one of my vlog things. Otherwise, I'm Lucas, and I shall say to you, goodbye.